Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Dr. Arnold Nerenberg. Been a clinical psychologist, licensed in the state of California for over 46 years. I've been in the field of psychology for about 50 years. The title of today's presentation is Success versus Achievement. Success versus Achievement, a new vision of personal and societal values. A new vision of personal and societal values. I was very clear to make this decision between success and achievement. I want to make a distinction in this way. Well, firstly, everybody wants to be successful and everybody wants to achieve a lot. And certainly you want to do both. You want to be successful and you want to achieve. Well, let's take a look at somebody who does a big robbery. They rob a casino, bank, $20 million. They planned it very carefully. A lot of planning went into it, a lot of coordination, a year of planning, and they were successful. Not in the usual term of the word. They achieved their goal. They had it set up, they got the money, and they achieved that goal. And then let's say the person takes the money, buys a beautiful mansion, gets great clothes, great cars. Back gets some plastic surgery, looks great, awesome. He looks great. He got some surgery. His woman who was involved in the heist, she did some surgery, looking great. So people would say, and they look at them and say, well, they're very successful. Very successful. I mean, they're achieving their goals. They're achieving their goals. They set very specific parameters how to do that robbery, and they have the money. There's a reason I'm using this example. Now, I would say, although society could look, they don't know anything about how they got the money or whatever. They would say this is a very successful couple. And they go to the tennis club and they mix with the rich and famous and accepted into all kinds of elite circles. So somebody look at it and say, well, this is a successful person, a successful couple. Look how good looking they are, and they're bright and charming and rich with their cars and houses. I would say that person is not successful. I would say that person is a loser, failure, a flop. So that's one dimension of being a failure. I want to show what a failure is, then I'm going to talk about what a success is. Now, let's take on top of that somebody who made their money, let's say in the stock market, made a lot of money. They're rich, the same thing. They have that car, the mansions, and they do the plastic surgery and beautiful clothing and all the rest of it. They look great. And they obtain the money legally. But then, person, he's married, he has affairs, he is always getting high on drugs, heroin, cocaine, whatever. And so he's getting high, he's being with other women. Now, society could look at that guy and say, look how rich he is and good looking, and he's got a wonderful career. He's made all this money in stocks. But I would say that person is a loser, a failure, a flop. That's not success. That's not success. He achieved his goals. He had to do a lot. He worked hard. He was talented. He made it honestly, but he's still a failure. He achieved his goals. So he achieved a lot. The person who stole the money achieved a lot as a thief. This person achieved a lot as a stockbroker, a stock investor. But they're both failures. They're both failures, losers, flop. Now, let's take another example. That's a loser. Now, you could have somebody who made a lot of money, having farms, getting organic broccoli, And he was faithful to his wife, gave to charity, did what he could for the community. He's a success. He's a success. And we're talking about what it is that really makes him a success. He achieved his goals. He's raising that broccoli. He's very successful. And he achieved a lot. Now, let's take another case. Somebody's in the tobacco industry. Has to do a lot of planning, very good at what he does. He owns these tobacco fields, and he makes millions and millions of dollars. And knowing that, there's so much evidence that it causes cancer, causes so many illnesses. It's well established. But he made millions. Say he made billions. People say, wow, he's an upstanding citizen. And he gives money to the charities. And he's faithful to his wife. But he made his money producing a product that will kill people. I would say he's a failure. He's a failure. He achieved his goals. He achieved a lot. It was a lot what he had to do with the money, and he achieved a lot with giving to charities. But he was a failure. It was blood money. And then they export those cigarettes all over the world, and people coming out with cancers and all kinds of cigarette-related diseases. He's not a success. Now, I see a lot of blue-collar workers, particularly truck drivers, in my practice as a clinical psychologist. Now, these men and women, primarily I see men who are the truck drivers, work hard, support their families. Now, let's take one that's pretty typical, where he's faithful to his wife, he's working hard, he devotes his life to his family day and night, sacrificing his time, his life, his health, everything, working day and night to support his family. And he's transporting products of value, say organic vegetables, organic fruits. He's not taking liquor, cigarettes. He has a good, what he's transporting is really healthy for people. He's not transporting death. You still don't have enough information to know whether he's a success, but I would say it certainly has the signs of that. I'm going to now tell you what the definition of success is. Achievement's very clear. You have goals. You achieve those goals. That's achievement. You want to get a BA or an MA or a Ph.D. in education. You get it. You've achieved your goals. But here's the bottom line. Without honor, people are a failure. So what I'm proposing as a new vision of personal and societal values is that only honor defines success. Only honor defines success. Living by honor. Now, naturally, on top of that, you want to make all the money you can make. You want to do some work that's very meaningful to you and satisfying, and you want to make a lot of money, and you want to look good. That's fine. That's great. But only honor makes you a success. And the other corollary of that is you don't want to have your self-esteem and self-respect tied to your money or looks, because tied people can take that from you. You get older, or you get an accident, or you get sick, or there's a pandemic and you lose your business. You don't want to tie it to your money. A lot of men, their sense of self-esteem is tied to their money, but women is typically tied to their look. You don't want to tie to that. There again, you want this statement for yourself. My self-respect and self-esteem depend only on my honor. My self-respect and self-esteem depend only on my honor. So, honor defines success, and honor defines self-respect and self-esteem. Of course, then when you have that self-esteem and self-respect and self-confidence comes with that. So honor is the key factor. Now, when I talk to a lot of my patients who are following the path of honor, because I have the honor teachings, I'll look at them and I know they're like low self-esteem where they feel they're behind in their goals. So we haven't achieved everything you wanted to yet, but you're very successful. I see so many highly successful people they're honorable in their thoughts, words, and actions, or they're working in that direction. That's the direction they're going in, is to monitor their thoughts, their words, and their actions, to be in compliance with a code of honor that I teach. So many of my people are very, very successful. And here's the unfortunate part. Many people don't feel they're successful. Why? Because in society's eyes, if they don't have a lot of money, they're not a gorgeous woman, then they feel they're not really that successful. Because it's only honor. So what I do on my community of people that I work with, I have the good fortune, the privilege of working with just wonderful, successful, truly successful people. So how do you achieve honor? Because that's what defines success. So honor is loyalty to your highest constructive values as enshrined in what I call the 4 commandments of honor. They're also called the 4 principles of honor, or the 4 self-commandments of honor. These commandments are not an external command. It's honor that already exists within us, and we're commanding what we already believe to arise into consciousness, into thoughts, words, and actions. So the 4 commandments of honor are these. I wish you well. I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality and my problems. I'm grateful for the power I gain from hardship. And then one of 2. If you believe in God as I do, God, your wish is my only wish. Otherwise, you take the other one, which is, I seek always to serve my highest values. So there you have your 4 commandments. Then you want to take a pledge. I give my people a pledge, and have well over 1,100 people have taken this pledge over the last 6 years. And the pledge, they have to commit yourself to a lifetime. And that goes this way. As a disciple of honor, I pledge myself for all the days of my life to the 4 commandments of honor, and I'll teach them to those I love. I'll repeat them every morning, afternoon, and evening, and listen to myself recite them. I tell people, welcome to the brotherhood, welcome to the sister. Now they're committed to this path of honor. Then the next step is having a bridge from the realm of honor into the realm of external reality. The bridge is, what's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? So they say the 4 commandments of honor, say the bridge, and then any situation they're in, they then ask the question, what's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? So I'll go this way. For me, it's, God, your wish is my only wish. I wish you well. I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality and my problems. I'm grateful for the power I gain from hardship. What's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? Now, when you're repeating this, some people feel really good when they say it, and some people don't. I don't particularly feel great. I've said it so many thousands of times. But it's not long enough to be boring. But the repetition is preparation for application. And that is awesome. This is totally life-changing. It affects us at a cellular level. It creates an optimism. It creates an integrity. A beautiful lifestyle. Now, 2 derivatives of what I call the Warrior's Commandment of Honor, which the Warrior's Commandment of Honor is this one. I'm grateful for the power I gain from hardship. It's 2 derivatives. What's the best true story I can tell myself about this problem? And I'll come back stronger than ever. These then add to the power, just add to our way of honor. Then we have what I call becoming devotees of honor. For advanced people, we've got maybe 20, 25 people that I've given the pledge to become devotees of honor. And they're committing to saying the Supremacy of Honor Code 3 times a day when they're doing their commandments in their bridge. The Supremacy of Honor Code is this: honor before pride, honor before anger, honor before sex, honor before money, honor before fear, honor before everything, honor before life itself. Now, when a person then takes the pledge to be a devotee of honor, it's this way. They repeat this after me. As a devotee of honor, I pledge myself all the days of my life to the Supremacy of Honor Code, and I'll bring it to the world for a more just society. There you have it. The first one being a disciple of honor, They're bringing it into themselves and their loved ones. Be a devotee of honor. They're now bringing it to the world for a more just society. This is the path of honor. This will totally take you into realms of honor and transcendence and wisdom. This is the path of honor. And as you go this path, as you go this way, you're a success. You may not achieve all your goals. I mean, you want to work hard. All your goals you want, even if you don't achieve it, you're still a success. Of course, work hard and you're diligent with it. With these kind of attitudes, you're more likely to achieve your goals. The achievement or not, you're a success. I know somebody who spent many years in prison, and he became a disciple of honor, and he was living that code, and he was repeating the commandments and the supremacy of honor code. And all his friends had graduated college, married, had kids. But I keep telling them, you're very successful. You don't have those things. You haven't achieved your goals yet, but you're a success. And he couldn't believe it. I said, yeah, you're now an honorable man. You have honor. You are a success. So this is why I call it a new vision of personal and societal values. Very different vision of it. Now, certainly you want to be able to achieve your goals, and achieving your goals is important. What's even more important is who you become as you're going after your goal. As Tony Robbins has said, as you're pursuing your goal, who you're becoming on that journey is as important, or even more important than achieving the goal itself. Well, it's my pleasure to present to you a new vision of personal and societal values. Success is only defined by one word, one thing: honor. It's my pleasure to present to you Success versus Achievement, a new vision of personal and societal values.